Are we live? Welcome to another edition to Just My Opinion podcast. I believe this is episode 43, but nevertheless, how y'all living? I'm living swell. We're going to be talking about something that transpired yesterday afternoon. CNN was first to report it, then everyone else gravitated to the current events and the current affairs surrounding Will Smith and Slapgate. But breaking news, Will Smith resigned from the Academy. Now, Will Smith issued a statement. He deeply apologized to the nominees, the people who got awarded at the Oscars. He also apologized to Chris Rock's family. Wasn't a public apology. Something similar to what he echoed on his social media, on Instagram, but just issuing a statement. He's stepping down from the Academy. He said, quote, he feels embarrassed, he feels shameful, and that's what Will Smith released when he released his statement. Now, a lot of people are, particularly yesterday, assessing Will Smith's move, and you kept hearing people in the comment section as well as people on live streams talking about, well, this means Will Smith can't direct or star in movies and this, that, and the third, which is totally nonsense. It's totally laughable. Even CNN said that this move clearly means that Will Smith will not be in the Academy as far as voting in the voting process on the next wave of people who are going to be nominated for the Oscars next year. That's really what that meant when he stepped down. He's no longer he's resigning from the Academy. Now, word around street is that the Academy is still investigating Sunday's affairs, particularly Will Smith. There's also have been a video that has been floating around that when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, there was a video floating around that Jada Pinkett Smith thought that was funny and thought that was laughable. Laughing at someone being assaulted. To make matters even worse, there's even more video from the Arsenio Hall show where Will Smith laughed at someone who had hair loss themselves. And Will Smith said, quote, it's just a joke. Just laugh at it. So that's funny. You didn't think, when you look at Will Smith's joke, he directly implied that about the guy being bald. If you listen to Chris Rock's joke, he basically implied that she's going to be starred in the next G.I. Jane, which theoretically is not a bad idea for Jada Pinkett Smith if she wants to continue. I don't know how she perceives herself as being an actress, but doing a reboot of G.I. Jane in the current affairs of what's going on in our world today with social media, the Me Too movement, women in power, Women's Month. Even though y'all can say the joke was bad taste, if you have that thought, if you have that opinion, okay, I can't. You're entitled to your opinion, but G.I. Jane does not sound like a bad idea for Jada Pinkett Smith, particularly if she wants to be nominated for an Oscar. But that's neither here nor there. But you got a lot, and also the the director for the Oscars, Willard Packer, talked to CNN. I think he talked to CNN, and he talked about the timeline after Chris Rock got slapped, and when he went backstage, everyone was checking on Chris Rock. The police were attended, and the police, as well as him, was processing this out and telling Chris Rock, you can charge him for assault. Even though Chris Rock, he didn't want a bad situation worse, which that goes to show even more credence to Chris Rock. The show, that was a bad moment. That left a bad taste in that show. No one is talking about the nominees. No one is talking about the people that were awarded. Everyone is talking about Slapgate, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith. Everybody's talking about that except the celebration we should be talking about, particularly when Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith a couple of years ago talked about how the Oscars, don't respect us as African Americans, and we should strike until they start changing their behavior and changing how they judge, particularly African American entertainment, African American media. And they were willing to protest the Oscars and were telling everyone else to protest the Oscars. Now when we get our moment, now when we get our shine as African Americans, it's left with a black eye due to Slapgate. No one is talking about everyone that was awarded, and the majority of the people who were awarded were African Americans. There were some films out there that talked about African American history. We finally get our just dues, and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith ruined that evening to celebrate Black excellence. Not to mention the fact there is also news floating around that the Oscars asked Will Smith's agent or PR person, whoever speaks for Will Smith, to leave the premises. And Will Smith denied. Will Smith said, no, he's not leaving. And also the Oscars said, quote, they handled that very, very poorly. They should have escorted him. They shouldn't have given him a choice, because Will Smith didn't give Chris Rock a choice when either to slap him on stage or not. And the Oscar says, well, why we're giving him opportunities and choices when he's not even giving us choices? He's not giving Chris Rock any choices. Now, a lot of people that are coming to the defense of Will Smith have been saying for the past couple of days, it's just pent up, built up frustrations. And they talked about how in his childhood he never, he didn't get the opportunity to stand up for his mother, and he's always been bullied. Not to mention the fact, by the way, before we get into that topic, when he accepted his award, he was so much in victim mode. I'm the victim. The Oscars are the villain. The board members are the villains. Chris Rock is the villain. I just slapped the big bad bully because I got tired of being bullied on. I got tired of being picked on. And the Oscars did not even like that from Will Smith. It didn't even apologize to Chris Rock. But he's talking about a lot of people that are promoting, that are trying to defend Will Smith is saying that, well, it's just pent up frustrations. He's always been bullied throughout his life, and he finally stood up for himself, which, uh, which, to be honest with you, Will Smith was the aggressor. Will Smith was the bully. There's nothing around that. Will Smith was the villain. What Will Smith should have done was be a man about it instead of being a child, and chose violence on his situation. What Will Smith should have done was, after Chris Rock, done his monologue, went backstage and confronted Chris Rock and said, "Hey, I didn't appreciate that joke, and it is my wife is insulted of that joke." And Chris Rock would have immediately apologized if Will Smith would have told him that. And Chris Rock would have even extended that olive branch by returning back on stage after whoever set was next, and apologized on stage. That's what Chris Rock would have done. But we not only, and that would have been another thing on top of the numerous things we could have been talking about at the Oscars. After the Oscars, Chris Rock went back touring. He already had these appearances booked. He was greeted to a large standing ovation. People were screaming F Will Smith and this, that, and the third about his wife. Chris Rock put a halt to that. Like, oh no, we're not going to do that here. There were also articles floating around. There are several people were asked to leave the premises, and I think one individual got arrested that night. During this whole time, and Chris Rock has not even spoke, by the way. He said, quote, he's still processing it. And I feel like Chris Rock is going to talk about this at a later date. By that time, Will Smith will already done sent his 18th press release. Jada Pinkett Smith will probably mention it on Red Table Talk, which, by the way, no one watches. There is no factual proof or evidence that Chris Rock knew that she had a hair loss issue, which the majority of people in the world have hair loss issues, men and women, which the majority of African American women struggle with that, struggle with hair problems, struggle with hair issues, trying to keep up with their appearance. You have women that use sew-ins. You have women that use weaves. Since the whole glorified image of a woman is a woman that has straight long hair. That's what society projects into the world. Women supposed to be thin and fit with long straight hair. That's the only mode a woman should be in. Even though we have made great strides to show the world, women can come in all different sizes and shapes and colors and religious backgrounds and educational backgrounds. I mean, it's not a one size fit all. You know, and I thought, to me, society have made, particularly when it comes to women, we have made great strides in that. But Jada Pinkett Smith is struggling with an issue that affects a lot of men and a lot of women. Again, folks, like I said in my last live stream, it's not like Jada Pinkett Smith has cancer. It's not like Jada Pinkett Smith has AIDS. It's not a life-threatening disease. I understand, yes, it's something that you have to go through. It's something that you wish you don't have to go through. We understand all that, but a lot of men and women out there struggle with those issues. And they don't go running around slapping or hitting people because of what they say or jokes or whatever. Even though we can say this again, if you peel the layers of the G.I. Jane joke, in actuality, Chris Rock was giving her a compliment. Everyone is being thrown back because Chris Rock says she should be in G.I. Jane 2. And a lot of people haven't even seen the original G.I. Jane or even know the concept of G.I. Jane. Demi Moore played G.I. Jane. And for those out there who've been living under a rock who don't even know G.I. Jane, have never even seen G.I. Jane, I recommend you go see G.I. Jane. And like I said in my other live streams, I didn't think G.I. Jane was a great movie. It was a decent movie. But it promoted a lot of awareness for women movement, women empowerment, showing the world that women can do the same job as men. Demi Moore played a female soldier, and this movie was about the struggles and pain female soldiers have to go through in the military, because in the military, the majority of soldiers are male. So you was taken to this journey, watching this character go through the struggles and the pain as being a female, and in the military, and the majority of the soldiers in the military were males, and a lot of males did not like it. That's what the story was about, in a nutshell. Had other layers, but in a nutshell. And Jada Pinkett Smith got offended by that. Yes, if you want to say the joke was in poor taste, fine. That's your opinion. That's your fault. If you want to say the joke was not funny, fine. That's your fault. That's your opinion. But to sit up there and say that this joke defended Jada Pinkett Smith is laughable. And what makes it sad is you can't have that position only 10 seconds after you stating that you felt embarrassed and ashamed and this, that, and the third. You sit up there and laugh. Cameras are rolling, watching you laugh at Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Once again, everyone loves to play the villain. Everyone loves to play the victim. Jada Pinkett Smith is a victim. Will Smith is a victim. But when you look at their actions do not fit. Well, their actions do not fit a person in a victim mode. You can't celebrate when someone is being assaulted. Think about what you are projecting. You're basically projecting it's okay in your household and it's okay to be violent and physical when you don't like what someone says. When you're not intelligent enough to use words against words, you want to use your fist. You want to be physical. You want to press up on somebody. A lot of people say if that was any other comedian, Will Smith wouldn't even gotten on stage. And I do believe that. I really do believe that. Will Smith is about 60, 70 pounds heavier than Chris Rock. He's taller than Chris Rock, has a better reach than Chris Rock. I mean, this was a no contest situation, and had to jump on Chris Rock. Chris Rock was expecting him to get on stage, or, you know, the worst thing Chris Rock was thinking, as well as all of us was thinking, was maybe Will Smith get on stage and joke on Chris Rock. That's the worst thing anybody was thinking. No one expected that he was going to get on stage and slap the taste out of Chris Rock. No one did. That's why security didn't rush up on stage. You know, everyone thought that Will Smith was going to, joke on Chris Rock. Because, Chris Rock, hold up now, Chris Rock, private life hasn't been all roses either. So basically what transpired yesterday is Will Smith resigned from the Academy. He's not going to be allowed to vote. And I get the sneaking suspicion there are people that's in the know of the Academy investigating this. And I think either some of his friends who are Academy members, like Whoopi Goldberg, or maybe there's an insider there that's pretty much telling him that this is not going to it's not going to bode well for you. They're going to lay the hammer hard on you. Just to think that these rules were set in place because of Harvey Weinstein. And you're going to be the first person other than Harvey Weinstein that's going to suffer from these new rules. And I really think that Will Smith copped out. He said, okay, if y'all going to lay the hammer on me, y'all not going to use me for an example because I'm running away from it by resigning. That's another thing. That Will Smith is a great man. He's so much of a great man that he's running away from his responsibilities. Just like, if you're going to slap somebody on stage, you should be man enough to apologize on stage. How about that? Try that, Will Smith. See how that works for you. But you got all these people saying that Will Smith done the right thing. Just think of what you're advocating when you approve dishonorable things. Just think about what you're approving, how people judge you. You're saying that it's okay to, if someone's jokes on you and you're too thin-skinned to handle the joke, or to combat them using words like they use words, you use words. And that's the problem with society. Everyone's scared to get their ass whooped. When you're in a fist-to-fist fight and you're getting your ass whooped, You feel like the best way to come to get your get back is to pull out a gun. Or you're so scared of getting messy using your hands, you just want to pull out a gun anyway. Or you're not that bright or intelligent and you don't want to combat them using words, you want to use your hands. Just think about the message you're sending. Just think about what that speaks in volumes about yourself. It's not about who you like, who you trust. It's about there's principles in this. There's levels to this. Will Smith could do the honorable thing, stand up for how wrong he was, and publicly apologize and meet his fate on his punishment. For every action is a counteraction. For every action, there are consequences. So, Will Smith will still do films. Will Smith will keep his Oscar, but how valuable that Oscar is in retrospect. How many people are going to respect you for that Oscar? And what the allure of that Oscar going to bring for you? Because whenever you look at that Oscar, you're going to be thinking about that night and think about how things went left. Like I said in my live stream, Will Smith is evolving and turning into the next Tom Cruise. Do anyone remember Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise there was a moment in time where Tom Cruise was in the same position as Will Smith. And a couple of things have happened along the way. A couple of things have been dug up, like he's invested in Scientology, and everyone considered that as a cult. And a lot of things he have said and done throughout the years. Now people think that, there was a moment in time where people thought Tom Cruise was cray-cray. And Tom Cruise is just now getting half of what he lost back then. Folks, that's been like over a decade. He's still not that same guy like 10 years ago he was. And at the end of the day, Will Smith is still going to get roles. Will Smith is still going to do movies. He's still going to do projects. But the people in the entertainment world in Hollywood, they're going to hold him. He's not at that same light anymore. He's not at that same standard no more because of this. And this, unfortunately, everyone has forgotten that Will Smith won his first Oscar. And everyone is talking about Slapgate. I felt like some of this would blow back a little differently if Will Smith publicly get out there and apologize. Jada Pinkett Smith has been sending mixed messages on social media, being defiant, and then another post asking for forgiveness. I mean, sometimes saying nothing, Jada Pinkett Smith, can go a long way. It's inexcusable what your husband did. And it's inexcusable about you laughing about it after you sat there feeling bad and shameful that he said that you should star in G.I. Jane 2. So what you're basically saying is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, they can say whatever they want to say. They can hit whoever they want to hit. But if someone treats you to that same standard, or if you feel like they're treating you that same standard, That's not fair. Well, that's all I got. I was going to talk about the Lakers. We will do a live stream about the Lakers another time, another day. I want to savor the flavor on the Los Angeles Lakers, but I gotta go, guys. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. Just My Opinion podcast. I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.